should I charge this now because I have this experience? These are the people that I used to work with. Are they going to pay this much more? And then you a lot of times get stuck with underpricing for too long. But guys, remember, you went to school, internships, you do your continuing education, you're getting the actual experience, real life experience. You need to charge your worth.
There's no need to beat yourself over the head over things that maybe aren't a good fit. It's okay to let some people walk out of the door because you want people that fit your practice and what you're doing. And at the end of the day, like, the majority will speak louder than the minority.
Welcome back to Hot Tea with Umo and Bri, where we spill the tea on sustainable business growth. Today, we're talking about expensive mistakes, the lessons that cost founders time, money, energy, and sometimes confidence. Every entrepreneur makes them, but smart founders learn faster. So today, we're sharing some mistakes we've seen, mistakes we've made, and how you can avoid paying the same price. My goodness, Bri, I have made so many mistakes. And sometimes, look, I still make them. Like,
Girl.
I feel like there's always room for growth. And if you feel like you've reached that point, guys, you're wrong. You're always going to make mistakes. But I've made some massive ones. So it's funny because my husband and I, we just spoke to a group of student athletes this past week at a university, and they're on track to become PTs and strength coaches. And we're talking about our journey. And it was just funny going down memory lane and just like some of the stupid stuff we did. What about you? What are some of the things?
Yeah. Like I literally, when I reflect back, I'm like, why did I spend money on that? Like it's crazy some of the mistakes that I've made, and they haven't all been like money per se mistakes, right? Like a crazy purchase that maybe I didn't need. Some of them have been bringing somebody on that I didn't need, or holding on to somebody longer than I should have held on to them, or doing something as a reactive, response instead of being proactive when I knew the Lord was telling me to change and do something different, girl. So the list goes on with the number of mistakes that are made. And like you said, no one is immune to making mistakes. We are all going to make them at some point in time. But they can come in a lot of different ways, from emotional decisions to ego delays, right? All the things can happen.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't even know where to start. I mean, I will say a pretty big mistake, I feel like, I made. And I'll say that I don't really feel as though I did too bad for a while. But I think that like something that stands out for me is a lot of my business endeavors have been the result of being really mad, like really disappointed and upset about a situation, and me being very stubborn and just like, gosh, I'm stubborn. I'm like, I'll figure it out myself. I'll do it myself. Like that has been, and luckily, thanks to the Lord above, like it's worked out.
Yeah.
Pretty darn good. But one is when we decided to have our first brick and mortar and like find a spot to rent. Admittedly, that was because, a situation that I thought was going to work out, and joining a partnership with another business ended up not really working out. And so I was like, I'm over this process. Like, I think it's time for us to go ahead and put the fast forward button. Even though we knew that this is something we were going to do, let's just put the fast forward button and do it now. And I mean, it was such a rapid decision. I mean, we did all the things right. We got a business plan together, went to the Small Business Administration, and like did all the things, but it was very quick to the point where we were like, okay, this is the here and now. This is a 2-year lease, but what if? The what ifs weren't really anything that we looked at. And within that very rush decision, we decided that we were going to be like this boutique gym that had everything. We were one-stop shop. So we were like,
Yep.
hey, we do fitness and nutrition, but we'll also have bar. We'll also have like all these things. I just need to hire an instructor. I just need to do this. I have all these connections.
Yeah.
And it did not work out. It didn't work out. I mean, the marketing was on point. Another mistake within that mistake is that we did a bunch of mailers, which for us, that was a waste of
Oof.
time and money.
Oof.
And this was all because, again, I was stubborn and I thought, man, I had this really just great reputation leading up to this point. I've got momentum. I mean, clients are going to come in from everywhere. They're just going to follow
Yeah.
me and they're going to be like, "Ooh, you got your spot." And yeah, that kind of happened at first,
Yeah.
but then that like excitement fizzled out and I was like, crap, what do we do now? And then life happened.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Like a month before grand opening in our first location, I was pregnant.
Girl, stop it.
Found out New Year's Day. I can't make this stuff up.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
going from a mom, family of with one child to about to be 2 under 2. Gosh, I lost my mom that year. There was just so much life that happened. And so mistakes, guys, do not rush. The moral of my story is take your stinking time.
Okay. For real.
There's nothing wrong with what we did. It's just how we did it and how quickly we did it. And stay in your lane. Stay in your lane and like kick absolute behind in what you do.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
You don't have to do it all. Nobody asked me to have bar at my studio. I don't even do bar. What was I thinking?
He said nobody asked for that service.
No. Like,
oh, Lord have mercy. What? Oh my gosh.
Got all this equipment, those little balance box things. I can't even think of what they're called now. All the straps. A whole design in the back of the space that was supposed to be the ambiance of a yoga bar studio. Y'all, this is real.
Oh my gosh. Not you needing to do a garage sale, because at this point, that's what it sounds. I get it. But you're right. Like, we all have times like that where ego gets in the way. For me, I've had a combination of my ego and my frugalness. I can be cheap, y'all. Like, I can be very cheap. I will DIY it until the wheels fall off. And that's my problem. Like, I have made that mistake numerous times. And there have been times where I'll have a combination of the two, of being like, oh, this is not being done the way I want it to be done. So I have convinced myself that I somehow can create more time out of my very minimal schedule. Somehow I'm going to add more hours to the day and be able to do it myself, right? Like, and also save myself money. Y'all, it typically never works out that way, And again, emotional decisions, like you said, like I'm mad something didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So I'm going to do it myself. And I'm going to add hours to the day that I don't have. And I'm also going to save myself money somehow. But in reality, not only am I wasting my time, I'm spending more time on doing things that I could pay someone to do in an instant, right? Like just little things like that end up being more costly in the long run. I wish we had more time to just like go through all these stories, because I'm sure there's something you can relate to. Maybe it's the emotional decisions. Maybe it's like cheap choices or ego or whatever, like not asking for help. That for me, not hiring someone to support in like actually getting things done, like having an assistant. I waited way too long to hire somebody. And that really cost me a lot, like emotionally and financially. So little things like that can be very, very common in regard to mistakes that we can make.
Man, amen. Everything from systems to contracts to, I mean, you name it, we've done it probably. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even to the point of like, Trusting people, like people that give you these grandiose promises of this is
Ooh,
going to be the
child.
next big thing, and like
Girl.
in the back of
Come
your
on.
mind that like that's a bunch of like hot air, but then a
Okay.
part of you is like, well, maybe,
Yeah.
and then it ends up blowing in your face.
Mm.
I will say though that like a lot of these experiences have caused me to be the type of crack the whip type of
Yep.
entrepreneur I am. I feel like that's I feel like in every business partnership you have, if you have like two people like, co-owning, co-leading, you have your person that's very cross T's, dot the I's, and then you have your person that's a little bit more like, warmer customer
Mhm.
service. Well, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
I am the cross your T's, dot the I's because of all of these experiences.
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not. And even I will say this, the whole underpricing for too long. I think that's something for that a lot of business owners, especially those that are starting the journey of entrepreneurship, and maybe have those connections, right? Like my husband was sharing this, like, okay, was formerly a coach or a GA,
Mhm.
right? That happens a lot. And then now you transition into this coaching role. And there's this whole like tug of war of gosh, like, should I charge this now because I'm official? Should I charge this now because I have this experience? These are the people that I used to work with. Are they going to pay this much more? And
Yeah.
then you a lot of times get stuck with underpricing for too long. But guys, remember, you went to school, internships, you do your C, you continue education, you're getting the actual experience, real life experience. You need to charge your worth.
Mhm. Mhm. That's so
Period.
good.
I mean, I struggled with that when I was having like my kind of like hybrid like nutrition and fitness packages. Like I struggled with
Yeah.
raising the prices. And I
Mhm.
oftentimes I was like, man, I'm dual specialty and all these other people around
Mhm.
me, these trainers are charging way more than me.
Okay. Yeah. I know.
What's my problem? But it's hard. It
Yeah.
really is hard because you're so afraid that you're going to lose people rather than thinking, gosh, no, I am positioning myself as the expert I am, and the right people
Yeah.
are going to come to me
Yeah.
and pay.
That's so good. I totally agree with you. These are all things I've experienced. And I so like you said, there's always two people in a relationship. The one that's like, and the other one that's like, well, I'm the my sister is the person. So
Mhm.
like that's why we work well together.
Yeah.
Because I like am the one that will be like, well, should we charge them? Should we do this for free? And she's like, Brie. Or I'll say, oh, let's do this. And she'll be like, can we put something in place to help us to, what's the system
Mhm.
going to be? Or me being like, yeah, we can do that. We can do that. She'd be like, So literally,
Yeah.
like, you need to, again, if you're doing this by yourself and you don't have a business partner and it's just you solo, then you're going to have to create in yourself the ability to kind of check yourself on these things, or your experiences will do that for you. So that's one of the things that you will learn it. You will learn that, hey, it's time to charge my worth, right? Or, hey, I can scale this, but like, what systems am I going to put in place? And if you don't take the
Right.
advice of us or other people, or you don't have a business mentor, or you don't have somebody by your side that's helping you to keep you in check, then you will experience doing these things. And it might be rough on you. So just know that, like, there are going to be some mistakes that you can avoid. And sometimes you won't avoid them, but hopefully you learn
Yeah.
from your mistakes, because again, the mistakes that we make in business, one, they cost us. But also I feel like, as entrepreneurs, they're easy to make because you want to grow. You want to
Right.
be stable financially. You want to make sure that your clients love what you're doing and they don't leave, right? Because whether you are a dietitian, strength and conditioning coach, personal trainer, or whatever, like, you're in the service business. And so naturally you're going to want to serve. You're going to want to make people, feel like they're in the right place. You also want to manage your money and everything financially be going well. And you also want to grow. But sometimes in that, you can start saying yes to things and it sets you up to be in a trap, right? So you're going
Yeah.
to make some mistakes, but hopefully you take some of our advice and try to avoid some of them.
Yeah, and got to remember too that like the wrong fit clients drain your energy and they'll drain your reputation too. They'll
Mm.
mess up your reputation. Like like I said, you don't want those clients that are just going to take advantage of you. And sometimes it's hard to see it from that lens, but in the reality, that's what's happening. They've gotten a little too comfortable. And you've just got to make sure that you keep that level of professionalism. Have that boundary of like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, we may be cool. We may have been rocking together for a minute, but hey, my price has gone up.
Yeah.
So you either pay it or
Period.
it's been real.
Okay, period. Oh, listen, you brought up a huge point. And like you said, not everybody fits. And I'll give you guys an example. Like we had our first 1-star review. And I was like, in my
And
heart,
review.
I was like, what? Like I'm hurt, right? I'm hurt. I go in, I look at the review and I'm like, okay, this is odd. And then I go, check the charts. I'm like, let me see like what happened, understand this client's journey. And it was literally just like, there was no reason for the 1-star review. There was no reason for that client to be unhappy. But for me, I just say, you know what? Okay, cool. It just wasn't a good fit, right? Like
Right.
it just wasn't let's count our losses. Cool. You go your way, we go our way. Like there's no need to beat yourself over the head over things that maybe aren't a good fit. It's okay to let some people walk out of the door because
Yeah.
you want people that fit your practice and what you're doing. And at the end of the day, like the majority will speak louder than the minority. Like even though you might
Yeah.
have 1 or 2 people that don't fit, it's okay because you'll have a lot of other people that come through that absolutely love what you're doing.
Absolutely. And you're gonna get those. I mean, you just can't make everybody happy.
Mm-mm.
Your goal is to make most people have a good experience. And if you have that mentality, those little things that come every so often, you just kind of throw them by the wayside. And I'll say that in the past with those reviews, something I simply do is just, acknowledge, so sorry.
Yep.
If there's anything we can do, please let us know. We want to
Mm-hmm.
fix it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then typically they don't say nothing. So there's
Okay.
that.
Exactly. Exactly.
Just saying, right? Like
Period.
make sure in those situations that you acknowledge, hey, seen this and
Mm-hmm.
happy to fix it. And that's all you can do. That's
That's all you
all
can
you
do. And walk away because,
yeah.
at the end of the day, there's other things you can do. There's bigger fish to fry. And honestly, I think that takes us into like our next topic of how do you avoid paying twice, right? You already paid time or money for the mistake that you made. So, how do
Yeah.
we learn from our mistakes? And I don't know. I think number one, you just got to slow down sometimes. If you heard anything from our stories just now, sometimes you just have to slow down because
Pump the
it's
brakes.
easy to make decisions when you're like in the midst of things, right? You're upset
Mhm.
or on the flip side, maybe you're running on a high and you're like, "Oh my gosh, like I'm
Oh
great.
man.
Everybody's going to love me. Let me
Oh
just
my
roll
god.
out."
So true. Oh my
It don't
gosh.
always work like that, y'all. Like sometimes you just need to slow down, review some things and think long term, not just right now in the
Yeah.
moment.
Absolutely. And I will say this. I have learned this over the past handful of years with growing my team. Like, the idea of joining a practice and it's gonna be so great and this and that. I mean, you're joining a business team. I'll say joining a team is really exciting for a lot of new professionals.
Mhm.
And you can vet these people out. You can say, hey, okay, this is shoot it to you straight. This is how I am. This is how we do business. This is what I'm not about. This is what I want. This is what we expect. This is the reputation, right? This is the temperature of this team. You can say all the things to
Mhm.
prepare this prospective new hire, and they can say, oh yeah, I get it, I'm the right fit. And then they come on board and then it's a complete nightmare,
Mm.
right? Or you find that that was all just a front and you're
Yep.
having to do a lot of things that you shouldn't have to do. So this part of slowing down is so
Mhm.
important because for those of you that are growing a team, you really don't need to have like a staff of 6, 7, or 8 right away. All you
Mhm.
need is like 2, maybe 3 high quality, good people.
That part.
Good, good people on your team that mesh well with your business, that are going to be a continuation, extension of your business in every single way. So just make sure that when you're growing, you have that in mind. I know a lot of different professionals that have grown teams and have teams, and I'll ask them like, hey, so like, what's going on? Like, what's their client load? And a lot of times it makes no sense why they have so many people on their team.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, don't think so much in numbers.
Yeah.
Think like, what type of work are you producing with the team that you have?
So good.
It's better to have 1 to 2 really amazing people than 4 to 5 like mediocre people. I hate
Girl.
that word, but I feel like that mediocre is
No,
like
that's the word.
spot on.
Mediocre. Mid. Listen, I'm going through this right now, y'all. Like, so real time, like learning from your mistakes. Because we grew, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm ready to trim back again. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you realize that, like, just like you said, it is better to have a smaller group of really, really good clinicians than having a large group of, some are in, some are out. You know what I mean? So you
more
learn
work for
from
you.
more work. Like, you are, oh, girl, I could go on. We'll have to save this for the community, but like, yeah, you learn from your mistakes there. And slowing down is huge because your
Yeah,
eyes, and I think about food all the time. So I say, like, your eyes get bigger than your belly, right? Like, that's something that you've learned, I'm sure, at some point, or heard from a parent. And it happens in business too. Your eyes get big and you're like, oh my gosh, this can
yeah,
happen and this can happen and that can happen. And
yeah,
it's like, slow down, pump the brakes, because it's okay to take your time. And again, one of the other things that we've talked about in the pod is building your systems. Like, this is not something that I did up front. It's something I had to learn to do. And I wish I would have did it before, like writing down your processes, putting your systems together, so that way you can save yourself time, you can build consistency, and you can also utilize other people when they do come into your business, because you'll have things laid out for them, and it'll be a lot easier to onboard and a lot easier to reach the outcomes you want to reach because everything's clear. So again, just little
yeah.
things that you can start doing now that can help you in the long run.
Absolutely. And really think about like the return on investment. And a return on investment, we're not necessarily talking about like actual revenue, but investment of your time, right? Like, think long term. Don't think like the here and now. Like, hey, just for the example of building your team, right? Like, is this the type of team that you can see really doing some things within your business 6 months from now, 12 months from now, years from now? If the answer is yes, keep riding with it. If the answer is no and there's red flags, the red flags are there, don't ignore them, right? Just like
Mm.
in relationships, when you're dating somebody, don't wait until things just hit the fan before you make a
Mm.
decision to cut things loose and make changes, right?
Child.
So, um, ROI is so important because the whole purpose of growth and gaining people on your team is to help you grow. It's for you to do less work. And it's to also make those people have great experiences in what they do, whether that's having a strength and conditioning team, whether that's having a team of PTs, whatever it may be. You want to make sure that everybody involved is as at peace as they possibly can be. And that is how you grow. That's how your business grows. That's how you get more clients. Everybody's happy.
Mm.
We can all just, you know, do a kick line together.
Listen, because a kick line, I love that. For real though. Oh my gosh, y'all. Listen, y'all know we're gonna come with the tea and the giggles, and we're just trying to help y'all out. So just know mistakes happen. The real loss is actually repeating those mistakes. Don't repeat them twice. So hopefully y'all learned a little bit from today. That's the tea for today. Mistakes are a part of business, but they don't have to define your journey. It is okay to learn faster, adjust quicker, right? Keep building smarter. So if you enjoyed this episode and all the tea we shared, make sure that you follow us on the gram at Hot Tea with Umo and Bri. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like our stuff too, because that helps to follow our pod on your favorite listening platform. And if you want to grow, once again, with like-minded founders, come join our community. We're building that out, and
Yes.
we just have so much in store. As I said, some of these conversations we got to take straight to the community so we can talk for real, because there's lots to talk about. So we'll see you all next time, and thanks for joining us on Hot Tea.
Bye. Cheers.